Have you ever told yourself that you're not allowed to have a food because that food is bad for you? Or have you ever told yourself you don't deserve a treat because you skipped a workout, ate something earlier in the week that was off plan, or just didn't like the number on the scale that morning? Studies show that dichotomous approaches to diets, meaning diets defined by a list of yes foods and a list of no foods, increase the risks of both developing disordered eating patterns and regaining lost weight. In this 2015 study, participants were asked to rate on a scale from not at all true for me to very true for me 11 questions, such as, I view my attempts to diet either as successes or failures, and I think of food as either good or bad. 1 to 4 points were assigned for each answer, altogether giving study participants a score on the dichotomous thinking in eating disorder scale. For every point higher on the scale, specifically the eating subscale, participants had a 142% increased risk of regaining lost weight compared to maintaining weight loss. This study also showed that higher dichotomous thinking, higher food restraint, and dieting all went hand in hand, and each were predictive of weight regain. Food prohibition tends to cause food fixation and can trigger disinhibition. Disinhibition refers to that moment when, after breaking whatever rule you've set for yourself, that piece of birthday cake, that day of being a couch potato, that triggers your health behaviors to unravel, driving more and more unhealthy choices. Basically, disinhibition is the technical term for falling off of the proverbial wagon. In this 2007 study, kids were given a bowl of red and yellow M&Ms, and they were told they could eat as many as they wanted. In the first phase, one group of kids had no restrictions, whereas the other were told they were not allowed to eat the red ones. And in the second phase, both groups of kids were told, eat as many of either color as you want. The kids who were at first prohibited from eating the red M&Ms had an increased desire for them. And when they were finally allowed to eat whatever M&Ms they wanted in the second phase of the experiment, they ate a higher proportion of red ones compared to the kids who never had that restriction in the first place. And perhaps not surprisingly, the kids who had food restrictions at home ate the most M&Ms and the most total calories in the study, regardless of what group they were in. This effect is not limited to children. When we label a food as bad and tell ourselves that we're not allowed to eat it, the net result is that we become fixated on that food. And when we eventually succumb to our craving, whether that takes days, weeks, or months, our eating behaviors unravel. And the diet yo-yo begins its upward momentum, which can also set the stage for disordered eating patterns. And this is why Nutrivore 90, even though it is a nutrition challenge, is built around a non-restrictive diet mindset. So the goal is to adopt healthier eating patterns as lifelong healthy habits in a way that makes room for all foods. Instead of cutting out foods that don't have a lot to offer us nutritionally, but maybe do supply joy and comfort, we learn to rebalance them with nutritional foundational foods combined into balanced meals and prepared in satisfying ways. And by adopting a permissive mindset around food, we avoid those feelings of deprivation that drive the restrict binge cycle. And Nutrivore 90 is a completely free 3-month habit-centered nutrition challenge, geared at turning nutrient-dense eating into second nature, not through rules and restriction, but through building healthy habits step by step and week by week. And you can sign up for free at nutrivore.com/Nutrivore90.